Hi, this is Kai. Welcome to the third video in our How to Use the Terminal series. So, in the previous videos, we looked through file permissions as well as how to traverse through our directories and our files a little bit more. And in this video, we'll be focusing on how to change our file permissions and doing a little bit more traversing through our directories, but in a more advanced way. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Control space to open up the Spotlight search and then type in terminal. Zoom in. And here we have our terminal. I'm going to do PWD so we can print our current working directory. So I'm in users, Kai Perez. And then I'm going to do ls just to list everything. And now that I can see what's in here, I'm going to do Control L. I don't actually want to be in this directory. I'm going to go back one directory by doing CD, print the working directory. And now I'm in users. I'm going to ls, and I see that I have Kai Perez and shared. We're going to go back one more directory, and now I'm going to print my current working directory. As you can see, as we do the cd.doc command, we're going back one. So we took away this extension here, and now we just have the root. That's what 1/ demarcates. So that's a root symbol right there. So I'm going to do ls to print what's in here, and I'm going to go inside of my applications folder just because. So I'm going to cd, change my directory to applications, push enter. I'm going to list what's in here. I don't really care what's in here. I'm going to actually just create my own directory. I'm going to do make dir, and I'm going to create the directory name as my fancy dir. There we have it. I'm going to do another ls, and if we just search for it, we can see that my fancy dir is right here. It's inside this. Now we're gonna want to change the location of this. First, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm going to show you how we would do it in the old-fashioned way. So go inside the directory that we're in applications, and we see that we have or at least we should see, my fancy dir right here. Now, I want to move it to my desktop. So in the good old days of doing this, what we would have done is we would have dragged this back. We could just drag it like that, but in the good old days, we could have dragged this one back over here. It's going to ask me to do that. So let's say we had transferred this into my to my contents over here, my XJ9. From here, we would have gone into users, and then we would have moved it into Kai Perez, and then we would have moved it into desktop, all doing a different MV command, right? Well, we can just simplify this a little bit by directly typing in the path that we want to move this folder to, this directory, and I'll show you right now. Excuse me. By centering this. Now I'm just going to directly do move the file name that we want to move. My fancy dir is the name of the directory that we want to move, or the file name. And then now I'm going to type in the path. So you know, before when we wanted to go back one directory, we typed in the double dots. We're still going to do that. We're going to type in 2 dots to demarcate that I want to go back one directory. And then I'm going to go forward inside a directory to users, Kai Perez, and then I know that there's a desktop directory inside of that. And if I was a little unsure about this, I can just look inside right here, and I can see from applications, what we're really doing is we're moving back, because of these 2 dots, we're moving back one directory. So we're no longer in applications, we're over here in this folder. Then I'm going to move into the users directory right here, as demarcated by the / users. And then I'm going to go into the Kai Perez directory, and we see that right here. I'm not stopping there. I ain't done. I want to go into the desktop. And so I'm going to type in the desktop. I'm going to click enter, and we'll in fact see that we now have my fancy dir on the desktop. I'm going to close this, zoom in, and now we're going to do one last cool thing. In the last video, I showed that if let me print my working directory, I need to actually change my directory by doing the same thing, going to cd /users Kai Perez /desktop. And now I'll be on my desktop. And if I list everything, I can see that I'm on the desktop. We see those files right here. And again, Sublime Text right here, this isn't going to show up because this is a mounted disk image, so it doesn't really count. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And now I'm going to do the familiar command that we did in the last one, which was ls-al. Now if you notice, I'm not typing in al before this because you don't have to. I just want to see the permissions on this. And I see that everybody in here can read and execute my fancy dir. So let's say that I didn't want everybody to be able to view the permission on this. I only wanted my owner to have absolute permission. So a group would not be able to read or execute it or write on this file, and I wouldn't want everybody to read or write or execute this file. So I want to change the permission. I'm going to type in a sudo command, which means that I'm the administrator, I'm the big cheese here. Just make sure you do this, don't give me any lip about it. And then I'm going to type in chmod, which is going to change the permission types on this file or any file that I specifically type. And I want the permission type to be 700, which means I, as the owner of this file, want full permission, but I don't want anybody else to be able to do anything. And we'll go more into the numbering of chmod and what they mean. But for now, I'm going to wave my hand at that, and I'm going to say just type in 700 so we can say that we don't want anybody else to be able to read, write, or execute this directory. So sudo chmod 700, and then you're going to, of course, type in the directory name, my fancy dir. It's going to ask me for my password because I did the sudo command. And if we do ls-al, we now see that we've changed the permission type from everybody being able to read and execute this file to only me, the owner, being able to read and execute this file, as well as being able to write on it. So that's just a little taste of the chmod command. And in future videos, we'll be going over how to use this command a little bit more in depth and what the numbers mean. But for now, make sure you like and subscribe and to leave me some feedback. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.